Hi, Dr. Rosensweet. My name is Sharon Christmas, and I had a question for you today. What are the benefits of bioidentical hormones?
Hello, Sharon Christmas. Well,
Hi.
let's talk about the benefits of hormones first. The When a woman goes into menopause and her periods stop, why those periods have stopped is it takes robust hormone levels for a woman to have a period. And when she reaches midlife, the hormone levels drop so low because the ovaries stop working, stop producing them, that she doesn't have enough hormones to form a menstrual lining, doesn't have a period anymore. Now, the path to that final stoppage day, it's got lesser hormone levels as time goes on. Like a young woman, and when she's 20, she's probably at her peak hormone levels. They're rich, they gradually decline, and then somewhere between 30 and 50, they precipitously decline. That's when that period stops. Well, these hormones are powerful and they do a lot of wonderful things for men and women. For women, they help your skin, they help your bones. You need ovarian hormones to have healthy bones. They help your muscles. You need robust levels of ovarian hormones to have muscles. When you when women keep losing their ovarian hormones, for example, they lose their muscles and their bones. So they eventually wind up, so many of them, with canes, walkers, wheelchairs, because they've lost muscle strength. They can't stand and walk with stability. They lose bone health. So it's very, especially in the old days, it was very common for a woman to fall, fracture her hip, and that was an end of life event prior to the excellence of modern day hip surgery. She loses her vagina because the health of the vagina is very much dependent upon adequate hormone levels. And when you couple that with the loss of the muscle, because you're losing muscle that holds up the bladder, you wind up with loss of urine when you cough. And then a lot of elderly women need to start wearing adult diapers called Depends. So there's cognitive challenges with loss of hormones. Estrogen is so important for the healthy functioning of a woman's brain. Some women get brain fog really easy, and at the other end of the spectrum, some women have very significant cognitive decline. Actually, there's forms of dementia that actually result from a lack of ovarian hormones. And the ovarian hormones are extremely protective to arteries all over the body. That's why young women have much less of an incidence of heart attack than young men of the same age. But by the time they both reach 60, the incidence of coronary artery disease and heart attack is identical. That's because the young women have the protection of estrogen, but by 60 they lose that. They haven't had estrogen protection for a long time. They're more prone to getting arteriosclerosis and coronary artery disease. And the list goes on. So why do you take hormones? For health. Oh my God, replenishing hormones to decent levels helps your bones, helps your muscles, helps your brain, helps your arteries, helps your skin, helps your energy, helps your sleep, helps your mood. This is why it is so beneficial for most women, I would say all women, to take and replenish hormone levels. Not to youthful levels. You don't need to. We know the numbers. The scientific literature is loaded with excellent information that shows us we do not have to or want to replenish a woman's hormone levels to youthful levels. We don't need to. It takes quite a bit lower than that, falling shy of youthful levels, to protect the bones, the muscles, the arteries, the brain in most cases. Sometimes women with more serious cognitive issues, we need to get a little more robust with the estrogens. So that's why it's a great idea, Sharon Christmas, to replenish hormones. Now, your question was bioidentical hormones. You know, there's a level of excellence that one can achieve by using the same molecule that the ovary produced. And so when someone says bioidentical, we're talking about pure hormones. the most common treatment of women used to be derived from horse urine, and also in combination in some instances with this funky molecule called medroxyprogesterone acetate. It's a judgment, a funky molecule. Those two hormones did so much good for so many women for years and years and years. There was a time that Premarin and Prempro were the most popular and profitable drugs that the pharmaceutical industry ever produced. And then there was that study, and we'll talk about it another time, in 2002, that changed the attitude and it changed the attitude, but it was an incorrect conclusions from that study. And the horse urine derived estrogens fell to very low. Very few women were being treated with hormones. So many women started not taking hormones at that point. And then in come the bioidentical hormones, because it made more sense that why not use a molecule that's identical to the molecules in the human body? Maybe there's safety in that. Some European literature showed that there was some safety in that. And so bioidentical hormones started to rise. So prior to 2002, there was 18 million American women, primarily on Premarin and Prempro. After that, it fell way low. Now, after many years of recovery, there's 5 million women being treated out of 70 million American women in menopause. And half of those women, more than half of them, are on bioidentical hormones. Now, the compounded bioidentical pharmacists have been on top of this for many years. And once it appears to me that it was noticed that there was a big loss of market share, the pharmaceutical manufacturers started manufacturing what they consider to be bioidentical hormones. But in the world of estrogen, for example, they only provide estradiol. And that's an issue, because best medical literature shows that combining a hormone called estriol, that is far more prevalent in the ovary than estradiol and estrone, combining that and making a formulation called Biest is the optimal way to treat women for a lot of reasons. And we go into this in our teaching videos and even in our book, Happy, Healthy Hormones. So there's levels of bioidentical hormones. The state of the art to me is still being produced by compounding pharmacists. It will have to be so forever to get the level of individualization that's so important, because women vary enormously as to how much they need, how much they feel right with, their individual sensitivity. So to get it with accuracy and to be able to test it with accuracy, it's imperative to do the 24-hour urine hormone test. And it's imperative that each woman be individualized. You just can't manufacture enough of the combinations that we wind up practically prescribing to women. So many variations, can't manufacture that. So we'll be forever and gratefully wed to compounding pharmacies, because we can individualize for any given woman. So the bottom line is that the same molecules, bioidentical, that's in the woman's body. If you copy nature and produce the right amount of estrogens, the right combination of estrogens, you're going to wind up with the safest and most efficacious way to treat a woman in menopause.